Welcome to the Griffins Pipeline Podcast.
Welcome back to the Griffins Pipeline Podcast. Today's episode, we're sadly going over the Griffins season ending in the Central Division Finals at the hands of Milwaukee Admirals in Game 5. I'm Connor.
And I'm Kyle. The off-season has begun.
Yep, sadly, even though the Griffins tried their hardest, they could not conquer and sink the Admiral ship. But this season was absolutely phenomenal. We completely got turned around with Ben Simon. We lost out on the last two playoffs, and Dan Watson came in here and turned it around completely and created culture. I'm definitely ready for the future here.
Yeah, it was an exciting year, fully exceeding expectations for a lot of people, and just a great opportunity for these players to get some playoff experience. But that is as far as we got, the Central Division Finals. And we'll be looking to make it back next year with a whole new group.
Yeah, it's sad because this was such a great group of young kids, and you already know that Simon Evanson and Jonatan Berggren and Albert Johansson are not going to be back on the Griffins next year. And you don't know who else is going to go elsewhere or who else is going to go up. And, only a couple of these guys are going to ever stay in the Detroit system. So it's really sad to see such a great team. They all bonded really good. Like this was a really true team. And it was all because of the culture Dan Watson created. And it's sad that they're never going to be together.
Yeah. At least we got to see when we did. Put together a great list of memories for me that I can carry on with my Griffins fandom. And yeah, this Game 5 versus Milwaukee, we can go ahead and get into it. So Sunday, May 26th, at Milwaukee, at Panther Arena, we played the Admirals in the elimination game, final game of the series. Sebastian Kosa was in net for us, and they went with Troy Grosnick after the Askarov injury last game. Inactive, a long list of players, but what's really important is Simon Edvinson and Radim Shemek. Both sitting out this game with injuries from last game, and that's our top pairing right there.
Yeah, that was not good to have both of them gone. And it definitely showed defensively. Where we come out with the loss.
Yeah, period one. Zach LaRoe, short-handed, gets the puck in from a pass that gets behind Johansson. He skates right up in there and sinks it behind Kosa through the 5-hole. 1-0 Milwaukee Admirals.
Yep, right behind Johansson and shorthanded goal. Not the way you want to start the game with a power play, man. That was the real killer right there, man. That we couldn't figure out the power play. So, I mean, giving away another shorthanded goal to this dude to start the most important game, that was just digging yourself a hole that like we eventually couldn't climb out of. Yeah, but
Yeah, and that was due to Troy Grosnick shutting down multiple shots in that first period. Or this first period, we had 14 of them, and this first period was really we came on fire, and it was our good chance to get at Milwaukee and get on top. But that power play failed us. The shorthanded goal, the epiphany of what has gone on with the special teams this season.
we have the Admirals, multiple shutting, and Berggren gets cross-checked. He gets the penalty. But yeah, we kept it together though, and like we killed the power play off, and Grosnick just pretty much stayed strong. I mean, we turned it around. We started outdoing them in shots to the point where at the end of the period it was 12-6, but Grosnick was just not letting anything in.
Yeah, and 0 for 2 on that power play in the first period, 1 for 1 on that PK. Will take us into the second period, where we were scoreless. And things started to get very chippy. Mazer called for roughing. Kosa gets called for tripping. Before you know it, we're on a 4-on-3. And we are unable, or they are unable to score. Our shorthanded unit stays strong.
Yeah. What the heck? That's hilarious. But yeah, so we get a power play after that too, and then we can't convert on that either. And then Zach Aston Reese continued to get robbed in this one. And
Yeah, he had that chance. He took it right up, basically on a breakaway, right up to the goalie, and shut down with the leg pad by Grosnick.
Yep, and then Esperance missed he almost got it. That he had a lot of chances where he just couldn't get it in there, man. He was really like present in everything. He was there. He was making the plays, but when it came to like shooting it in the net, he just couldn't get it in there for some reason. Like he'd miss or he'd fan on it. Maybe a mental thing was going on with the scoring because like every other aspect of his game was there, but it's really sad that he couldn't figure that out right before. Like if he would have nailed that one, that would have ignited the whole bench and helped us out big time.
Yeah, as well as when we speak of misses here, gotta mention Tuamisto, man. He had a wide open chance and just slaps it so hard the thing skyrockets out of play. And he's had some wild shots this year. They're hard, but they're just not accurate. And he's actually injured a guy taking that shot before, so it's time to start zeroing that thing in so it gets inside the net.
Yep, and Carter Mazer too. You know, he was out there, kind of same thing going on with Joel Esperance, where he's out there making all these plays, but he just can't get it in the net. You know. But yeah, so scoreless. Second.
Yeah, and we finished pretty physical and missed 2 more power play opportunities in that second. Milwaukee got 14 shots on us to our 9. And at this point at the game, they were 23-20. Griffins still in the lead with shots. It's going into the third. But first, we'll get to DraftKings. We're this close to crowning the Stanley Cup champion. And with the action heating up on the ice, it's even hotter at DraftKings Sportsbook, an official sports betting partner of the NHL. New to DraftKings? Listen up. New customers can get no sweat bet up to $1,500. Just deposit at least $5 and you'll get a bonus bet back equal to your first bet if it doesn't hit. Download the DraftKings Sportsbook app now and use code THPN. That's code THPN for new customers to get a no sweat bet up to $1,500 if your first bet doesn't hit. Only on DraftKings. The crown is yours. Gambling problem? Call 1-800-GAMBLER or in West Virginia, visit www.1800gambler.net. In New York, call 8777. In New York, call 8778-HOPENY or text HOPENY 467-369. In Connecticut, help is available for problem gambling. Call 888-789-7777 or visit ccpg.org. Please play responsibly. On behalf of Boot Hill Casino and Resort in Kansas. 21 plus age varies by jurisdiction. Void in Ontario. One no sweat bet per new customer. Issued as one bonus bet based on amount of initial losing bet. Bonus bets expire 168 hours after issuance. See dkng.co/ice for eligibility, wagering, and deposit restrictions, terms, responsible gaming resources. Copyright NHL 2024. All rights reserved. So on to the third period, where Ufko gets a goal early in 3 minutes into the third period. Ufko gets the puck at the point, moves it down to the top of the circles, fires it in right between the circles, man. Kosa struggled to get his sight on it, and it looks like it just went right over his shoulder and into the net. 2-0 Milwaukee.
Yep, and that was assisted by Mark Delgaizo and Igor Asanasyev. Sucks that he couldn't do that, but then it seemed like as soon as he scored, it kind of seemed like we went into panic mode, if you ask me. I felt like we had just kept forcing the puck forward. Mazer kept doing it a lot, where he'd just like get it and he'd fling it forward, and it would, when he if he would have taken a second, he could have passed it on back and actually calmed it down and get an actual play going. But it just seemed like we were kind of like how we used to play, where we just like fling the puck forward, and just turned into a lot of turnovers.
Yeah, and I know dump and chase is good, but it just seemed like we were dumping without the chasing. There's a lack of forecheck, while Milwaukee was relentless on their forecheck. And Milwaukee ended up taking 16 more shots in this period, and just really kind of ended up handing it to us in this last little bit of the game, where Griffins really were on their heels for almost the whole third period. We had to kill off 2 different 5-on-3 penalties. New Power has to block 2 shots in a row, and then goes to the bench, and Casper comes out, has to block shots. And it's like Zarnik gets a roughing, Les Browns gets a trip, and it's just constantly, as soon as one ends, the other one starts. All of a sudden, Shine's getting a high stick. And it was the penalty kill crew did their job. But what more can you really ask for when it's an elimination game and we're playing 5-on-3 the entire game, the entire period?
Yeah, agreed. So do you bring back Stefani Julian?
I don't know if I do. I definitely bringing back Brian Lashoff and his penalty kill, but that power play was the weakest power play I've seen in a playoff matchup I've ever. I don't know if there's even something that comes close to how bad that power play was.
See, that was like the one thing Ben Simon did do all right was the power play. I'm not saying bring Ben Simon back for the power play or anything.
But yeah, I don't know if we make that call and say, hey, we need someone else in here for our power play, and go
Yeah,
coach shopping.
I mean that's what I would do personally. I would go a different direction because you need to have a power play. We had way too much talent on this team to not be able to get a power play goal. 1 second, I got a motherfucking cat.
0 for 5 in this game alone, and then 6 on the penalty kill in this game. So just completely night and day differences for our special teams. And yeah, it really was all Milwaukee defense and Troy Grosnick in our failed comeback as they keep us shut down 0-2 and end the Grand Rapids Griffins season.
Yep, sadly, the season ends. It was an absolute blast this year. Probably my favorite hockey season in a long time.
We just haven't seen that much success from the Griffins a couple years, and being able to fill the van like we used to and just have those playoff games makes the world of a difference when you're going to games in May and it's sunny and you don't gotta wear 3 layers of clothes, and makes for a great season.
Yeah, I was like wearing shorts, I think. I was like, dude, this is nice. You don't have to freeze all the way in. The whole
Probably
walk
what
from
it's
the
like
ramp.
at Florida.
Yeah, probably. Every game. It's pretty cool for them, I guess. Takes out the spirit, though, in my opinion.
Yeah, when you drive down like we did in the blizzard and you slide halfway down the hill on Fulton, there's something to those games, you know?
Oh yeah, that one blizzard. Like we're like, there's no one. There's gonna be no one here against. I think it was Rockford Ice Hogs this year. There's those 2 blizzard nights with the blizzard. We get there, we think no one's gonna be there. It's like packed, dude. That was awesome. Toasters night. There's just so many fun times this year. The Bergie hat trick.
Yeah, the real one.
Yeah, the
'Cause
actual real one.
the other one got called away, and still a great game, though. That game 4 was definitely a memory left in a lot of people's heads, so. And that's the type of fight we got to see from our Griffins all year long. And we just hope that they can get into this spot next year and possibly further.
Yeah, definitely. But yeah, we'll get into that kind of. We'll have one more actual episode for you guys for this season. We'll have a wrap up to the season, and we'll be doing our call-ins that episode. So I guess this is your last chance to call in. If you want to win a Jonatan Berggren puck, I mean, it's wide open still. I mean, there's one we're pretty sure is gonna win, but you could still beat it. You could call in at 1-616-319-1175. And yeah, let us know how the Griffin season was, or your favorite part of the season, or any questions you got, or anything, like, really. But yeah, it's your last chance to call in for now.
Officially, your last chance to call in.
Yeah, this is literally it, man. But yeah, you can win a Jonatan Berggren puck, so call her in. Let us know how you feel. But yeah, we are part of the Hockey Podcast Network. We're very excited to be part of them. They make it possible for us to continue doing this podcast, and we're sponsored by DraftKings, so thank both of you. And yeah, we'll get back to you with that episode, and we'll probably get a update with Brad to the walleye season ending also. So, yep, it's a sad ending to the year, but we got a lot to look forward to. Bright future ahead of us. But
Yep,
until
let's
next
look
time,
for a great. Yeah, let's look for a great off season by this organization. And yeah, until we get back with you next time, go Griffins, go Red Wings, go Walleye.